So on the front end of the sales process, typically what we do is we engage with our customers through what we call a value assessment process. In that value assessment process, we bring a team of people on site into their organization. We look at their supply chain. We spend a day in their operations, map out what does their current state look like in terms of how they manage their business today, from the time they receive a sales order from their customer, follow the flow of that sales order all the way through to the customer delivery, or if it's an inbound move, follow the purchase order from the time that purchase order is cut to a supplier all the way into their operations. What's the flow of information? What's the flow of the goods? And then what's the flow of funds associated with that? From that, we work very collaboratively with our customers on identifying what is going to be the value that Lean Logistics delivers. So once the customer ultimately has selected Lean Logistics as their partner going forward, we take the results of that value assessment, and that becomes the foundation for the implementation process with the customer. One of the things that makes Lean Logistics unique is we do not outsource our implementation work. We have a team of people who are effectively a SWAT team that go from customer to customer to implement our solution. It's a very structured process, both in terms of time, resources, and deliverables. We fix bid our implementations, both from a cost perspective as well as a time perspective. And the value that the customer ultimately receives from that is they get a end solution that's delivered on time and on budget. Once that customer has been implemented, we then have that customer assigned to our client services team. And our client services team is responsible for the ongoing successful relationship associated with that customer. So they are meeting with the customer periodically throughout the year, looking at where their business is going, what are some of the initiatives that they're working on as an organization, and then how can we continue to add value to support those initiatives. We look at how they're using the technology, and we make recommendations on what we see from a best practices perspective in terms of leveraging the technology to its fullest to continue to drive value. Ultimately, what we want to have is we want to have a long-term customer that we're achieving supply chain value for every day. We measure that as well in our customer service survey that we do once a year. In that survey, there's a number of questions we ask them, but there's two questions in particular that really speak to value. The first question is, if your contract was up with Lean Logistics today, would you renew, yes or no? And then secondly, would you be willing to be a reference for Lean Logistics, yes or no? If the customer answers either one of those questions no, in our minds, that's a customer who's dissatisfied. And consistently over the years that we've done that survey, we've always been in the high 90%, and that's something that we're very, very proud of. Our first customer, when we started the company, is still with us 15 years later. And we continue to work very, very hard to make sure that all of our customers are achieving the value that they want from our solution.